Hello and welcome to U.S. History. Nice to meet you. My name is Mrs. Dunlop, and you guys can see where my office is in relation to the front of the school in this picture. So I'm your teacher. Again, I'm Mrs. Dunlop. You could reach me by email, preferably, which is mdunlop@odysseyk12.org. You can text me using that number there, and I do have an extension, which is 5577. I'm in the high school building, and I'm really the testing coordinator, and I just kind of do this on the side, which means that it's not what I do every single day to day. So I may be visiting you, I may not be visiting you, but you are at an online school, so I'm sure you'll get used to that. I graduated from Bonanza. I was a teacher there as well. I received my bachelor's degree from a school in Santa Barbara called Westmont and my master's degree at UNLV. And I have two children that are now 21 and 18, and they are both off at college. So since I want to show you about this class, what we need to do is first scroll down a little bit, and of course you need to go on to this orientation quiz, and you will click on it and you will attempt the quiz now and start the quiz, and then of course what I hope is that you will answer true, and then you will click next, and that is the first thing that you need to do in this class so that we know that you're checked in and that you have credit for this particular subject area. Right, it's really, really simple. Then what you could do is go to the syllabus and look up the expectations of this class and what will be required of you. We'll go ahead and go back. And then from that area, you're actually going to take a quiz on the course syllabus. And you can see I've retyped the syllabus in here. And then you attempt the quiz, and there's only 5 questions. And it should be easy to figure out that you need to pass U.S. history with the 60%. The grades are due in January and June, that my extension is 5577. Of course, I have a textbook. And finally, I do give unsatisfactory notices. Why? So that you and your parents will know exactly where you're at the end of each quarter. That was probably a bit of a give me during this section of the video. So here what we have is the lesson, where you get your information for this particular class. And right here what we have is the way you get into it. You can see that we have these 6 sections. And here we have our chapter 2 and 3. It's the very first subject of the first semester. So if you're looking at the second semester, it's obviously going to be a little bit different. And I always have an introductory statement, hopefully an introductory video of some sort, and the objectives. And you click through this by going to the next button here. Then we're going to look at some video or some vocabulary. This particular section, smallpox, the 13 colonies, triangular trade, Jamestown, cash crops, and enlightenment. I will always provide you with a picture and, of course, the definition. And these will again be found for you within the video, within the PowerPoint, and within the questions that will be asked of you in the lesson. Now on this section, this is where you find the meat of what you need to do to get the information to learn about world history. And I give it to you in 3 different ways. So you can either watch the video, which of course begins to play the minute that you click on it, or you can go ahead and click here and download a PowerPoint, and then this shows you how you can use Control F to go at your own pace through the information, reading as you go. You don't need to watch the video. It is only there if you would like. Or you can click here and you can go to what is called a Nearpod lesson, which just slides through lessons, as you guys can see right here, allowing you to access this data on a iPad or telephone, because obviously you can't download things on your iPad as easily as you can if I use Nearpod. So I don't have your semester project in here just yet, and I do have a Keep Learning section, which I like because I do want you guys to take the information and go with your natural curiosity and start to Google information and start to look at other sides of the issue. I can only teach you the tip of the iceberg. I would like you to go even more in depth than the topics I take you in depth with. And then, of course, we conclude with a chapter summary. There could be a video, any number of different ways that we can go ahead and give you the information as a summary from the chapters. So once you have that, if you want to, you guys can go ahead and print out the questions. At Odyssey Charter School, we do have the ability to give you the questions in advance if you should choose to see those questions in advance. You don't have to do this step, but you can. So this is the printout that you guys can choose to print out. If you want a hard copy, you can also have downloaded that PowerPoint. And then at that particular point, you could also take copies of the PowerPoint home, and you could do all that printing while you're at school. So here we are back at lesson 1, and what we're going to do is, of course, open this particular lesson, and then we are going to continue the last attempt because I do open this frequently. And then you will see the different ways that you will answer questions, dropping down for vocabulary. Unfortunately, there's a video that you will be watching, and you will drop down and answer those questions. That's not unfortunate. I just didn't think the video was loading. So if you notice, what it did is it started on question 12, where for most of you, it will, of course, start on question 1. And this is where you're going to answer these questions. And then you will go through. It does break it into 2 parts. And then if I wanted to answer, not want to because it does say not complete, but let's just say that I do submit it all, I'm going to get a solid 0. And it says it doesn't like that, but you guys get the idea of how to complete work in U.S. history.